Recording in progress.
Check. Hello. Oh, there we go. Yay. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jessie. I'm the new music director. And we have an incredible service. Is it coming up?
Doesn't sound like it's coming through. Can we turn it up a little? Turn it up a little, please.
How about now?
A little bit more. There we
So
go.
I'm just going to keep talking.
Not this.
How's this? You can hear me?
Yeah.
So welcome to our service this morning. We're going to sing our hymns a cappella today because of some illnesses, and we do not have piano accompaniment. So we're going to go back to the olden days where we all used to sing without instruments. So if you feel so led, would you stand and turn to 203, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky?
All right. Yeah. All creatures of the earth and sky, come, kindred, lift your voices high. Alleluia, alleluia. Bright burning sun with golden beam, soft shining moon with silver gleam. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Swift rushing wind, so wild and strong, white clouds that sail in heaven along. Alleluia, alleluia. Fair rising morn, in praise rejoice. High stars of evening, find your voice. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Cool flowing water, pure and clear, make music for all life to hear. Alleluia, alleluia. Dance, flame of fire so strong and bright, and bless us with your warmth and light. Alleluia, alleluia.
Our next hymn is number 1. Get this pulled up really quick. May nothing evil cross this door. Sauron, stay away.
Sauron, stay away. Yeah. Should we have a chord?
Oh yeah, you know. May nothing evil cross this door, and may ill fortune never pry about these windows. May the roar and rain go by. By faith made strong, the rafters will withstand the battering of the storm. This hearth, though all the world grow chill, and keep you warm. Peace shall walk softly through these rooms, touching our lips with holy wine, till every casual corner blooms into a shrine. With laughter drown the raucous shout, and though these sheltering walls are thin, may they be strong to keep hate out and hold love in. Thank you for singing so beautifully. Please be seated.
Welcome. Neai Namakwa Unitarian Universalist Congregation, Min Argladsin, Hahai Niest Na Tam Paquette. I am Sin Worship Guador A Aser. And for those who Cinderin is a bit rusty, welcome to the Namakwa Unitarian Universalist Church. We are glad you are here today. My name is Tam Paquette, and I am your worship associate. Emma esta la tu vera a ara simen vala a ter. We call ourselves a come as you are congregation, and you are welcome here just as you are. We'd like to extend a special welcome to any visitors that are here today. So if you'd like to stay connected, please meet one of our ushers at the front, and we'll get you signed up for our communications at the main entrance. Here at Namakwa, we foster a beloved community that celebrates diversity, strives for peace and justice, and we act mindfully for the good of the planet. We inspire in spiritual growth through a free and loving search for truth and meaning. We honor the ground we walk upon, and we acknowledge that this land is the traditional land, an ancestral homeland of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute peoples. We recognize and we honor the indigenous peoples as the original stewards, and we vow to reconcile the deep wounds that still shape this world today. Announcements. Now I'm going out of order because yeah. Can we just give a little bit of love to our new Jessie? Stand up, let us love you. And I just got to give her a wink because she dressed in Lord of the Rings colors. And for all of you who did a little bit of green or a little bit of wood elf going on, there's never such a thing as too much at Namakwa. Right now, I'd like to bring up our president, Rebecca Williamson. She has a very special announcement. Did you want it on the stand, or? Okay.
We would like to give a very special thank you. On behalf of the board and the entire congregation, I want to thank Carol Barton for her generous donation to Namaqua at Dick's request. Dick's practice of freely giving of his time, his talent, and his treasure is a legacy that will live on here for many, many years. So thank you, Dick. Thank you, Carol.
I just want to add that Dick's celebration of life is coming up. What day is that, Reverend?
13th? Okay. Yeah, it's September 13th at 2 o'clock. If you would say that into the mic so that they can
Okay, September 13th at 2 o'clock. And I know the Namaqua has sent out a lot of announcements and addresses and whatnot, and you can find it on our website. No, it's at
Presbyterian Church.
First Presbyterian Church. Thank you. I know we'll all be there.
It's Mountain View Presbyterian Church.
Mountain View Presbyterian Church.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And we just want to send a little bit of love and healing to our accompanist, Slip. Hey, did you leave your phone on? Aren't we supposed to turn these things off before? Sorry. I'm going to get fired. I really am. I don't know why they keep me around. Let's send some... So let's keep that love going for Slip, our accompanist. She has COVID, right? We know that it's going around again, and so let's just send her tenderness and love and healing energy. The regular announcements, every Wednesday at 9:30, you can join our regular mindfulness group. It meets for meditations and conversations led by our wonderful Jan and Wright each week. And starting this week, for the next 13, Inspiring Solutions for Difficult Times with ordained Buddhist Nun Kelsang Evam, Wednesdays from 12 to 1 o'clock. These lunchtime meditation classes offer practical and uplifting explanations of how to transform our day-to-day lives into opportunities for personal and spiritual growth and development. It's based on the book, How to Transform Your Life, and the suggested donation is $10, but no one is turned away for lack of funds. Thursday, the 11th, at 11 o'clock, starts, I'm going to hear some excitement and Twitter in the room, the West African drumming class. Open to all levels. There's a flyer in the back if you'd like to catch up on what that is. Saturday the 13th, Reverend Dana is hosting Exploring Membership for anyone interested in learning about becoming a UU, a Namaqua UU. And best of all, next Sunday, you remember our fabulous water communion ceremony. Don't miss this transformative experience, and don't forget to bring your little vial of sacred water that you gathered on your vacation in Europe, or collected from a stream when you went camping, or even if you dug it out of the bird bath out back. Please join us for coffee hour after the service today. Big love to all of those volunteers who made this service possible. And we have a very special guest. September and October, our shared plate recipient is Loveland's Habitat for Humanity. And this morning we have Tara Hunt, Development Director for the Loveland Habitat for Humanity, here to speak with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here this morning, and it is very good to be here with you today. I had a mad dash up from Denver when I woke up about 90 minutes late this morning, so came in on 2 wheels. As much as you can with the EV. So at Habitat, our mission is seeking to put God's love into action. We bring people together to build homes, communities, and hope. And together with all Habitat affiliates, we envision a world where everyone has a decent place to live. So when I got the call asking me to come speak with you this morning and was asked to speak about why to give, and I thought, and I'm a development director, and that's my whole job, is telling people why you should give to us. And I was like, well, how do I express that? And then I realized it's not my job to tell you why to give. It's my job to tell you our story. And it's your job to decide whether you should give, whether our story resonates with you. So I'm going to tell you our story. Since 1987, Loveland Habitat has partnered with low to moderate income families who live or work in Loveland and are in need of safe, decent, and affordable housing. These families are often cost burdened, spending more than 30% of their income on housing, some of them spending more than 50%. These are our neighbors. These are people who are in the service industry. These are our teachers, our healthcare workers, our first responders. They're, excuse me, they're possibly people sitting here in this congregation with you today. So to qualify to be in the program, the partner families must earn between 40 and 80% of the area median income. So what that means for a family of 3 is that they can earn anywhere between $47,000 and $92,000 a year. For a single income household like myself, I can earn up to $82,000 a year and still qualify for a Habitat home. That's because in the state, the median sale price of a home right now is over $500,000. So it's out of reach for the vast majority of people in the state of Colorado. And you know, making $82,000, $92,000 a year, yes, it's a good income, but it's not enough to buy affordable homes. And right now, the rent prices are so high that you can't save to make the down payment on an affordable home. So it's just getting further and further out of reach as home prices have about doubled in the past 10 to 15 years. Wages are not keeping up. So partner families take home ownership classes with us where they learn about their finances, about savings and home ownership and being good neighbors, as well as healthy living and so much more. And at the same time, they're also saving for their closing costs. Those are minimal compared to a traditional mortgage. And they complete 200 hours of sweat equity. They're out there building their homes, their neighbors' homes. They're working in our restore. They're helping out at events. But at least 100 hours has to be on the job site building their homes. Excuse me. And then those families at the end of the project, when they've partnered with us, with our volunteers, they receive the keys to their new home and they have a 0% interest mortgage. So one of the misconceptions, 0%. I'd love that. One of the misconceptions is that we are giving away houses at Habitat. We are not giving away houses. That's not a good business model. I come from the for-profit world. That would not go over very well. So to date, our partner families and volunteers have completed 177 homes.
Wow, yummy.
And thanks to communities of faith like yours who have supported Loveland Habitat with financial gifts and volunteers, we're getting ready to close on Zyra's home. Zyra is a single mother of 3, and her home will be the 10th of 47 Habitat homes to be completed in Grace Gardens, which is our current community at the corner of, I always get this mixed up, 287 and 14th. Once we're finished, the Loveland Housing Authority will come in and build 200 multifamily affordable housing apartments in that same development. And then in the next couple of years, we'll be moving on to Legacy Crossing, occupying land near Crossroads Church. We'll once again partner with the Loveland Housing Authority as well as Mission Homes and Impact Development Builders to build a variety of single and multifamily affordable housing products. So there's still much work to be done. Home prices, as I've said, they're more than doubled, and wages are not keeping pace. And there are many ways in which people can support Loveland Habitat for Humanity. So my ask for you today is that you consider Loveland Habitat in your giving, not only financially, but also of your time. And I'm gonna wrap this up by saying I will stick around after for the coffee hour. I will be there to speak with you, answer any questions. I have information to pass out. But in the meantime, thank you so much, and I appreciate your listening.
We love what you're doing. Thank you.
Ayamar presta ayen.
The world has changed.
Han matho ninin.
I feel it in the water.
Han matheo nekae.
I feel it in the earth.
A han nostene gwylith.
I smell it in the air. Much that once was could be lost. For the time has come when our beliefs and actions will shape the futures of all. Okay. Please join me in saying our affirmation. Love
Is the spirit of this congregation, and service its call. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Let us share the spirit of love by greeting those around you.
Shall we ding?
Check, check. Good morning, my friends. I was just going to be your flute player today, but I'm helping out otherwise. I'm Reverend Dana Lightsey, but I'm delighted to just be attending today. So, yeah, anyhow. But let's do some singing together, shall we? Let's build some new ways. I believe that's 10:17, building a new way. And Jesse's going to do some sight reading on piano for us. So I invite you to rise. Yeah, let's sing. We are building a new way. Yeah. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. Feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are
Nancy is amazing. How did we luck out and get her? That's some divine guidance. Right? Oh, time for all ages. Who's ready for a story? I'm ready for a story. You're ready for dragons? Little high five? Nice. You got them. Fabulous. Fabulous. Did you all want to sit there and where you're comfy and can see the pickies? No. All right. Oh, I'm so excited. Hi. Our littlest you. Hi there. Hi there. So excited. All right. So the story today is John Ronald's Dragons, the story of J.R.R. Tolkien. John Ronald was a boy who loved horses and trees and strange sounding words. But most of all, John Ronald loved dragons. Dragons that flew through the clouds, dragons that breathed sizzling flames, dragons that tied themselves in knots, and dragons that wore shining scales, and dragons that guarded ancient treasure. John Ronald fed sugar cubes to the milkman's horse. He swung from the branches of beech trees with his little brother. His mother read him stories about brave knights who battled dragons. But in Safe Sarahole, a small town in Britain's Midlands, no actual dragons flew through the clouds. Only geese, and sometimes a hawk. At school, John Ronald made good friends. The boys held secret parties in the library with tea and biscuits. The librarian scolded them for dropping crumbs on her books. They acted in plays, they played rugby, they sketched pictures and made jokes. But at school, there were no dragons that breathed sizzling flames, only the headmaster who smoked a pipe. On vacations from school, John Ronald visited his cousin Mary. They made up their own language. Der fas melva cold paak, peasagil far mainawak, prosirge fe, de rock de, yokat yama bokte, del vot facto makadme jerok. Which meant there was an old man who said, "How can I possibly carry my cow? For if I was to ask it to get in my basket, it would make such a terrible row." The grown-ups shrugged their shoulders. At his cousin's house, there were no dragons tied up in knots, only John Ronald and Mary, who tied themselves in knots, laughing at their private language. Then John Ronald's mother died. He and his brother moved in with their aunt. She did not like boys, and her house was cold and lonely. At night, John Ronald dreamed of exploring a steamy dragon's den. But in the morning, when he walked into his aunt's kitchen, nothing warmed the room. Only a thin wisp of steam rose from his lumpy oatmeal. On the way from his aunt's house to school, John Ronald stopped at the church. There, he helped Father Francis perform the morning mass. He carried a cross up the aisle, and he rang the altar bell. Have you rung the bell here yet? No. Oh, that's the thing on the list. We're going to put that on the list. Of course, he didn't find any dragons at the church, but he did find stillness and beauty and peace. After some time, John Ronald moved to a boarding house. There, he met a girl with bright eyes and shining black hair. He fell in love and asked her to marry him, and she agreed. For a while, he forgot to look for dragons with shining scales. He only had eyes for Edith as she played scales on her piano. All of a sudden, the whole world went to war. John Ronald had to go too. He trudged through mud. Can you trudge through mud? Sticky, icky. He slept in a trench. Have you ever slept in a trench? Shall we? Shh, there's not much snoring though. He slept in a trench and he heard loud guns for as far as he could see in any direction. The war had destroyed all of the green trees. He tried. I know, not the trees. I'm with you.
They puree our air.
Yeah, they do. They purate the air.
They make it fresher.
They make it fresher.
The leaves, they make it fresher, and then all the leaves are gone. And then the air is full of smoke. Josie is named after an aspen tree.
Josie's named after an aspen tree.
My middle name.
Oh,
Josephine Aspen.
Josephine, that is amazing. I want to hear that story. He tried to shut out the noises of war by making up another imaginary language. It didn't work. It was then that he most needed dragons. But of course, there were no dragons on the battlefield, only ugly machines belching flames. When John Ronald came home, he got a job teaching at the University of Oxford. Oh, just like Pedro. Look how Pedro's just dressed just like that. Oh, coincidental. He gave lectures, he went to meetings, he tutored students, and he graded many, many, many papers. When he couldn't escape from his work, he ate fish and chips at the pub with his friends. Sometimes they read each other's stories that they had written, but there were still no dragons guarding treasure, only silent gargoyles guarding buildings. Then one day when John Ronald was grading exams, he came to a blank page.
A blank page?
A blank page?
I know what that is.
You know what that is? Let's do it together. You ready? He wrote on the page, and y'all can say this because I know you know it, "In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit." Yes! He didn't yet know what a hobbit was. It wasn't a dragon, but he followed it anyway. On school holidays in winter, when the fire was lit and the tea kettle was whistling, John Ronald told his children stories about the hobbit, who, by the way, he named
Bilbo.
Bilbo Baggins! He gave Bilbo hairy feet. Do you have hairy feet?
No.
Okay, just asking. Bilbo lived in a cozy underground home in the Shire. But most important of all, Bilbo led John Ronald over the Misty Mountains. Yes, Misty Mountains. You'll go there one time. And through Mirkwood Forest. You know this story. And across the long lake to the base of the Lonely Mountain. You know this. We've been there in our dreams. There at last, John Ronald found his dragon. And deep under the Lonely Mountain, there still lives a dragon that flies through the clouds and breathes sizzling flames. A dragon that wears shining scales and guards ancient treasure. And the dragon's name is Smaug. Well done, you. Shall we sing these beauties to class? Now let us sing. Sing to the power of the love within us. Sing to the power of the love within. Lift up your voice. Be not afraid. Sing to the power of the love within. Yes. So who else was in middle school when you picked up a rumpled copy of The Hobbit and read it in a weekend? A couple of you? Okay. Only the ones that want to admit it. Didn't that magical history of Middle Earth make sense to you and forever leave an impression on your heart? For my part, context was important. At that time, my family had just moved us from our 100-year-old farm in New Hampshire, which I call my Shire, the hills of the White Mountains from New Hampshire, with its traditional, predictable, unchanging, agrarian, and in my opinion, at 12 years old, at that time, was agonizingly slow and boring. Definitely a place where they don't want any adventures, thank you very much. Then in just a 3-day journey, we ended up in a tourist town called Naples, Florida, where some of the wealthiest people in the world had their third home on the water. It was so strange. People talked in a funny accent. They ate weird food. The trees and the birds were bizarre shapes and colors. Even odder, half of the population lived there only in the winter months and then disappeared like snowbirds to go somewhere else for the rest of the year. It was my Mordor. Nobody had a farm. All the houses near us were cramped next to each other in a subdivision. The ground was sand. You could hardly grow a thing in it. It was hot all the time. There were dragons, alligators, that crawled on their bellies out of water that you never dared swim in. I had traveled to another world where snow never fell. Have you ever had that feeling, that sense of being a fish out of water? Yeah, it's real. It's real. And we've all been there, right? So even today, though, my first friends way back then are still in my life. I call them my league of extraordinary women and men. And we've been through it all. Puberty, puppy love, marriages and births, hurricanes, heartbreaks, kids graduating and cancer, and so much happiness, so much togetherness, celebrations big and small. We have hung on to each other because I believe solidarity matters. You ever read books over the years and learn something new about them every time you reread them? You ever do that? Yeah? Well, what book in your life is your talisman? Maybe a story someone read to you that you cling to for guidance in uncertain times. When was your moment when you defied convention and said to the world, I'm different. I want something else. I want to do things my way. And maybe you took your best friend with you. Well, picking up The Hobbit again was an expected journey. It was my Bilbo Baggins moment. I wanted adventures. I wanted them. Thank you very much. So I woke up one day and bought a one-way ticket to New York City and left the next day. I learned that I could give myself permission to try and to fly. And I did it again years later after watching the movie. It inspired me to see big mountains for myself. And my husband, my best friend, came with me, and we ended up in Loveland, where I found my kin, you. Pedro and I even attended a Lord of the Rings science fantasy fan club called Grey Havens in Longmont. And yes, we dress up. Those are the moments, the stories that give life meaning for me. They are about friendship and loyalty and devotion and belonging to each other. Do you remember the word Ubuntu? Ubuntu? Let's say it together. Ubuntu. Yes. The stories that matter, that never get old, that never cease to inspire. Good friends holding on to each other through the darkest of times, knowing the day will come when the sun will shine again. And my favorite line, my mantra is, and you can say it with me if you wish, because I know you know it. It's a dangerous business, Frodo, going out your door. If you step into the road and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. So let's begin our unexpected journey together. Awesome. Each week you support the work of this congregation and all the ways that we live our values through your own generosity. In addition to supporting this church, half of your donations support a local nonprofit organization helping us to make differences beyond our walls. And during the next 2 months of September and October, we are giving to Habitat for Humanity.
We come together each week to share our lives and care for each other through all that life brings. If you have a brief personal joy or sorrow you would like to share, please come forward or raise your hand for Tam to bring you the mic. I will also share the written comments we collected earlier. Those of you online, please share your comments in the chat and our Zoom host will read them out loud. After I share, we will say, we hear you, we see you, we hold you in our hearts.
Kind of a joy tomorrow. I'm Steve. Tomorrow I'll be able to get some cataracts removed from one of my eyes, and bonus, they'll fix the glaucoma at the same time. So not looking forward to the healing process, but looking forward to the improvement.
We see you, we hear you, we hold you in our hearts.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I wanted to share something that's making me sad today because a good friend of ours and her wife are leaving the country. They're moving to Uruguay, where protection for gender identity is written into the national constitution. So I'm going to miss them, and I hope they enjoy their new life in South America.
We see you, we hear you, we hold you in our hearts.
I thought it was very fun that we're doing Lord of the Rings today. Roger has never seen the movies or read the books, so I said, you have to before today, so. He was actually open to it, which he hasn't been in the past, and I honestly thought he would fall asleep, but he didn't. We watched the first one Sunday night, we watched the second one Tuesday night, and we watched the third one Thursday night, starting the Thursday one at 8:30 p.m., so we didn't get to bed till 11:30, but it was a really wonderful experience, and I'm just appreciative of him being open to new experiences.
We see you, we hear you, we hold you in our hearts. Do you have any written comments or joys and sorrows? Anything on Zoom?
Yes, we have a few on Zoom today from Nikki and Vaughn. Vaughn underwent shoulder replacement surgery on Wednesday and is doing very well. We see you, we hear you, we hold you in our hearts. And Vicki Clark says she's here letting you know they have enlisted Pathways Home Hospice for Tom's continued care, and they appreciate your continued loving support.
We see you, we hear you, we hold you in our hearts.
And then I have one to share. And those of y'all that know my mother may notice that she hasn't been around in a while. She's still not feeling up to being out and doing much other than groceries, doctor's appointments, and so I'd like to ask you to hold her in your hearts, and I know she would love to hear from anybody who wants to reach out and let her know that she's loved. So thank you.
We see you, hear you, we hold you in our hearts. And for those who may have something too tender to share, we hold you in our hearts.
I'm just going to say while they're all getting ready is we are so grateful that Dana came in on her day off
after a retreat. Let's just give her some love, please. Thank you. You're always here for us.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody has had a good first breakfast. Like Tam, I discovered Tolkien's books at the age of about 12. Epic stories of elves, wizards, little people called hobbits, and an evil dark lord who had enslaved the world using a cursed ring. Tolkien created characters, described vivid scenes, surprised you with plot twists, and built a universe. He also created stories with a moral center around free will, redemption, friendship, resistance, and community. Lord of the Rings is a classic tale of good versus evil, but it is not simplistic. Characters are complex, they are frightened, they have doubts, character flaws. They yearn to return home. They don't know what to do and experience grief. There is courage, determination, a willingness to sacrifice for friends and community, and holding on to hope. Some stumble and fall. Some stumble and redeem themselves. His dramatic and dark scenes ring true, and Tolkien's dry sense of English humor appears at all the right moments, and the light-hearted banter between his characters feels natural. What can a 70-year-old book series tell us? Why did the movies light a fire of hope during dark times? These are a few lessons that I took to heart. In troubled times, community is more important than ever. When threatened by the forces of evil, the various peoples of Middle-earth join together to defend themselves. Elves, humans, dwarves, and hobbits joined forces. They had had conflicts between them for thousands of years, but faced with the survival, they worked together. We must also join together and find allies in troubled times. Differences between us are often minor compared to the threats we face. Working on the Social Justice Committee, I found other organizations we can work with. By joining forces and finding ways, we can complement each other and become more effective. Together, we can bring more weight to bear. We can unite around basic principles such as compassion, justice, forgiveness, and mercy. Also, unexpected allies can appear. Throughout the Lord of the Rings movies, allies appear unexpectedly. The Ents, a race of trees almost forgotten, eagles, innkeepers, and the shades of the dead answering the call to arms. In the book, there are even more friends and allies unlooked for who play important roles. The number of organizations and individuals I have discovered this summer is amazing. They may be different from us, but if we share fundamental values, we can work together. In this, bringing people together and communicating is that I have enjoyed the most and gives me hope for the future. Other groups may have skills and information that we need. Likewise, we should share things we have to help them out. Alliances are a two-way street, and stopping and listening often pays off in many ways. Knowing you're not alone also builds hope. Small acts of kindness and mercy can often go a long way. In the book, Gollum obtained the ring by murder, and so was cursed. Bilbo acquired the ring by chance. Gollum lost it, and Bilbo refused to commit murder on Gollum when he had the chance. Instead, he used the ring to escape. Bilbo's act of mercy creates a different tone. The ring didn't corrupt him the same way it had done to Gollum. And also, Gollum goes on to play an important role in the story. If you've seen the movies or read the books, you know what I'm talking about. So that the entire story was actually driven by an act of mercy. I find small acts of kindness, a quick joke, or a genuine moment can help somebody. It eases tension and allows us to see each other as human. It may take somebody's day better or give them the nudge that changes a life. And of course, we're dealing with hobbits, so it's always a good time to enjoy good food, drink, and friendship. Hobbits throw parties with food, drink, dancing, and gifts. Tolkien's works are full of descriptions of food: apples, bread, wine, stew, cheese, and so on. I always appreciate the descriptions of foods. In fact, when I was reading the book, I would read the books with some cheese, crackers, salami, and tea with me. I mean, I can show you the greasy fingerprints in my coffee from when I was reading the book when I was a kid. Yes. ask me about it later. I mean, after World War II and industrial time schedules, eating was turned into a chore to be done as fast as possible. This is still true today as we rush around through our lives. But I do give Tolkien credit for the huge interest in like home brewing and cheese making, organic farms, craft baking, and other such things that have made a comeback and have affected our society. Think about what would Colorado look like without it? Think about all the breweries that has opened up in this state. Also think about what if Senator Hickenlooper had not founded a brewery? I mean, yeah. Just imagine that. Where would we be? Another lesson Tolkien taught me was don't be greedy and possessive. At Hobbit parties, the guests received gifts as well as the host. This easy gifting and regifting played an important role in their culture. Hobbits are less attached to material things than other folks. In contrast, the Dark Lord was controlling and possessive. If you have to get rid of a cursed object, a hobbit is your best choice for the job. Not just in Lord of the Rings, but in all of his writings, Tolkien spoke out against greed and possessiveness. Everybody who kept the ring eventually called it their precious. Tolkien also called greed and possessiveness the dragon's disease, you know, from dragons hoarding everything and then never spending a penny of it. He also warned that in owning things, things may end up owning you. Mm-hmm. I think you would have agreed with Henry David Thoreau's call to simplify. And Tolkien also encouraged me to always find a way. When Eowyn is forbidden to join the battle by her king Theoden, who is also her uncle and stepfather, she finds a way to join in anyway, because she knows she should be there. She manages to be at the right time and the right place to kill the Witch King, help turn the tide of battle, and weaken the Dark Lord's forces. She was there at the right time, at the right place, because she wouldn't take no for an answer. So don't be afraid to step in and fill a need. I mean, these are just a few things I learned from his works. His themes of hope, friendship, fellowship, courage, and determination in the face of oppression are as true today as ever. As Theoden said, "Ride now and fear no darkness."
With justice like I join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. God's love embraces I can't do this, Sam.
I know, it's all wrong. By rights, we shouldn't even be here, but we are. It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered, full of darkness and danger they were, and sometimes you didn't want to know the end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when such bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you, that meant something, even if you were too small to understand it. But I think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now, folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't, because they were holding on to something.
What are we holding on to, Sam?
That there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. So may it be.
Please join us for 11 Z's in the fellowship hall behind the sanctuary.